What is up, guys? This is Marco.
And Katelyn.
And this is Fascia.com, Fascia Health and Wellness. Welcome to the show today. We have a conversation between two people that are fascinated with the subject of fascia. And maybe that's why you clicked on this video. So let's get into it. This is what happened. Right? I'm just going to tell you what happened. We've been working on our audio. We got a different mixer and I was working on everything, and Katelyn was over there doing some foam ball to her stomach. And then she started talking about calcification, and I'll just let you kind of go ahead.
Calcification and just kind of going down the rabbit hole of like the complexity of fascia and how incredible this connective tissue. We call it the master connector, but we also call it the master disruptor. And
that was me though.
That was you.
That was me.
That was you.
That was
I
me.
Give you,
Thank you.
I give you credit.
Thank you
I
so
thought
much.
that was like super genius because I feel like it really encapsulates exactly what fascia is. Like in its simplest form, it is a master connector and a master disruptor.
Go ahead.
Meaning that fascia plays such a significant role in our body. It envelops all of our muscles, all of our nerves, all our organs are suspended by fascia, like everywhere in our body. And when things get tight and calcified and densification, I really like that word, densification.
Me too.
Like I think a lot of the times like the word fascial adhesion is thrown around because we've used fascial adhesion for a long time. But I really like the word densification, and that's something like the word that we've been really gravitating to is densification. What that really means. What does that mean when fascia becomes densified, and what ramifications does that have to the human body? I mean, it's a cascade of events that literally happens when something becomes densified. And then like we got on the subject of like what happens like dead versus like alive fascia, and like it's just so interesting to me.
Yeah, so that's what happened. We were literally, I was working with the microphones. I was doing some testing, and Katelyn's over there on her own tip talking about, but the differences of living versus non-living. And Katelyn was going off like, well, what were you? I'll let you, because you were talking about like, well, is living fascia so much different than dead fascia? And we're like, yeah, like we've studied fascia from cadavers. And so what's been happening with us here in this last year, our friend owns a pretty big ranch out here, almond orchard, and pigs are pretty detrimental to the trees, and they cause a lot of havoc in his orchard. So he has a license to shoot them. And so sometimes he'll call us and be like, hey, you want to take a look at this one? And he'll call us, and within 20, 30 minutes of it being dead, we will go out there and field dress it and open it up and look at the liver and look at the heart and look at all of the anatomy of the pig. And because pigs have a very close anatomy to the human body, it's just true. We use pigs heart valves for human valves, heart valve transplants. So we're looking at fascia within 20 minutes, 30 minutes post-mortem of this pig. We're seeing it. We're putting our palms in it. And so go ahead.
I mean, like, and that just brings up the topic, like, what's the difference between a life? Like there's times, right? Like 20 minutes after post-mortem. Yeah, exactly. 20 minutes, an hour, 24 hours, 2 days, a week.
So I think and I'm going to steal this real quick because it was like this term that's out there. We've used it like is fascia calcifying. Now that we have this experience of like actually getting in there with a really small window of this animal life leaving this animal, calcification in there would be pretty difficult for me to kind of understand and swallow that. I think it's more of densification. When we throw a term out there like things are getting calcified because you're dehydrated, that would be pretty tough now after doing a few of these pigs to really understand. It's more like things are densified. It's dense layers of fascia on top of fascia on top of fascia on top of fascia, and it's just layer after layer after layer, and it's just gotten really, really
dense,
yeah. Densified.
Yeah, layer upon layer upon layer upon layer, and it's become thick. And then therefore, when it's densified and thick, it can't glide.
Things cannot glide.
And can't move. And so everything is very stuck and compacted and thick. Like densification to me equals thick.
Thickness. Yeah. And unnatural thickness or just abnormal thickness of that fascial tissue around key areas of the body. I really love the stomach. Not only do I love it because it is where so many of our organs are. So much is happening in that very small area. Your aortas are traveling through it. But you look at the relationship Psoas now. So everybody knows where Psoas is now. Everybody knows. It wasn't like this a long time ago, but everybody knows where Psoas is. And then there's I saw this really interesting video on TikTok the other day that was like, can you work on Psoas through the rectus abdominis, through external obliques, and all the all of the anatomy between your epidermis and then Psoas. Can you actually get to it? And so that's an interesting thought and idea. But I think more of like the relationship between Psoas, rectus abdominis, and all the fascial adhesions that could possibly be adhering, densified in that area. That was definitely the case with me. I had a lot of densification in that area of my body, and it was detrimental for many processes in my body in hindsight.
Yeah, I think that's where when you started to figure out that you had major fascial densifications. I'm going to use densifications.
Yeah, I love it.
In your stomach. I really feel like that work, that is where like it was foam rolling, and then that really turned into self-bodywork.
Ooh.
And we kind of like compare those things, like they are not the same, but I really feel like that moment, because we started out foam rolling and then it turned into a much deeper practice for us, a very deep practice for us. But I'm serious. Like that's when it was like, dude, we really like went inside, like traveled inside of our body and explored it and got to know it and like became an observer of like what was going on inside of us. And that is where like, you graduate from all these different, like the foam roller, then you get the PVC pipe, then you might have a kettlebell, you're getting, you're going so right. You're getting really into these tools, right? But then it's like that is where self-bodywork is the big differentiator, is really having a foundational understanding of your body. And the only way you can get there is by going inward and really exploring it and understanding it. And where are these densified areas of fascial tissue at, and what I can do on my own to start to, I guess like when you said break it up, like tear, right?
Yeah.
Like we're manipulating the tissue.
We are demanding change.
And I think I like that.
I think
really like that.
I like stretching. I mean, it feels good to stretch. It feels good to take it there. But I think stretching is asking nicely. Like we're even asking sternly in some occasions on some stretches, right? You're asking sternly. But I think when you introduce pressure, when you introduce an object that your body must either melt into or fight, you are no longer asking, you're demanding change in the fascial tissue, in the fascia, in the actual strands of fascia. That's how I see it. And I will say this, this is fascia.com. This is Fascia Health and Wellness. Everything that we're here to do is to promote the idea of self-bodywork. with all due respect, there's incredible practitioners out there doing incredible work, massage therapists, osteopaths, chiros, PTs, applied. All these people are doing great work, but it has not been enough for us. And unless you're balling like that, unless you're willing to find really high level practitioners at the rates $250 an hour, $350 an hour, and do it 3-4 days a week for months and months and months, and that bill will add up $20,000, $30,000, $40,000. Now, do I think it's worth it? All day long, it is worth it. But for people that aren't sitting on 20, 30, 50, 60, 80K, that could just shell it out and even that, I don't know if it's as beneficial and really is going to give you the true understanding. I don't think that the system is just not set up that way.
Right.
It's not set up for someone to do the work for you. To us, self-bodywork reigns supreme. And it reigns supreme for many, many different reasons. But coming back to the idea that we're demanding change, we are bringing time to the equation. We're bringing it into your own home. You're sitting there watching Landman. You're sitting there watching the season finale of what's the show Jax was really on? Stranger Things. Stranger Things. Our son, 10-year-old, was really, and I was like, dude, are we really letting our 10-year-old watch this? This is out there, like, okay, he's got to do a lot of self-body work to the belly, which they do, which is really cool. This is the idea of bringing it home. Our first principle here at Fascia Health and Wellness is ownership.
Yeah, but I also feel like even though like there's so many incredible practitioners out there that are doing high level work, like really great work, to understand your body, to get to know yourself, to get to experience your body in a different way, to feel your body in a different way. Like, to me, that's the power of self-body work. And so much of it has to do with awareness, and so little of it has to do with the tool. And we hear it like, oh, that Theracane, like that's so awesome. And it's like, oh, it is awesome, right? But it's like, it's the idea that you can work on yourself that's even more awesome. Like, it's not the tool. It's the idea that you can work on yourself, and you are becoming, you're taking ownership. You're taking ownership, and you're just learning about your body on a very different level. And that's when it turns into self-body work. And that's when it turns into taking ownership and bringing time into the equation. Like, that's a big one. And that's one of our principles here at Fascia is time. Like, time under tension, meaning time spent actually demanding change in the fascial tissue through pressure, through breath, through expansion, through creating space in the abdominal cavity in these areas so that we can restore function, right? How things are moving, blood flow, lymph, like all these different things. When things are very compressed and tight and compacted and you're full of tension, the body is not working at its optimal level. So we need to create space in there so things can move and function. Yes. Vitality, like bringing vitality.
Raw vitality. That was something that we did we're setting up the test run to do actually film this. And that was something that I said that I really want to come back to is like, hey, I was listening to a Jack Cruz podcast. I think he was talking about Usain Bolt and he was talking about Bitcoin, which is cool. Bitcoin, but Jack Cruz, man.
I like listening to him.
I like Jack Cruz. Yeah. I think he has some really great big expansive ideas. But I was listening to Jack Cruz podcast and he was talking about how nutrition is like 5th, 6th, 7th on his list, and I completely agree with that. And I would put, I think Jack Cruz, if you guys know Jack Cruz, is like sunlight, right? Sunlight is number one to him. Hey, I'm with it. We can't move to the equator right now. But I'm saying that for me, it's tension. Mm-hmm. For us here, obviously it's fascia, it's tension.
Yeah.
Where fascia's job is to hold you in these positions that you are in the most. This tension has accumulated. becoming aware of that tension is number one. To me, I will agree. You know, nutrition falls down the line. The body, like, let's just be real here. The body is incredible. It is a miracle. The body is incredibly spectacular, literally the most advanced thing on this planet. I don't care about no AI. I don't care about no freaking NVIDIA chip, AMD, super microcomputer. You know, like that's cool, man. That's what's up. Liquid cooling, data centers, you know, like put them in space, you know, Tesla, all good. We love our Tesla, but it's you, it's me.
Yeah.
It's like, you know,
and how like every single part of the body, every single tissue, organ, like it has a job.
Yeah. And your hair's growing, right? And your hair's growing.
And they all work together.
Yeah.
In a beautiful system. And it's wild.
A system of pumps, of hoses, of drainage.
But it needs vitality.
It needs space. And that's what I was trying to say. It's like when you introduce so much congestion into the system, you just introduce raw congestion, raw tension into any system.
Like a highway,
what is it supposed to do? What is it supposed to do? It's going to inflate. It's going to inflate. It's going to inflammate. It's going to cause havoc. Yeah. Things are not draining. Blood is not flowing. Things aren't moving. Oxygen isn't getting pumped in. What you were that was something that you were saying before. You were talking about how you like that girl. The girl that was on TikTok.
Yeah, yes, I really liked her content, and she was talking about posture in relation to lateral rib cage, which I agree on.
Yeah, we love lateral rib cage expansion.
Yes, but how does one get there if they don't have a pretty good understanding of their body already? How does one get there if they are full of tension and tightness?
And I loved that. What you said about that was so spot on. But go ahead. Sorry. Go ahead. I get excited.
Good, but I'm just saying, like, how does one get there if they're so full of tension and tightness and restriction? It's really hard to get full lateral expansion of the rib cage, diaphragm, things like that when the fascial tissue is densified and constricted and very tight. That's like where self-bodywork is like the foundation, right? It's like building a house, and then everything else is just fucking
go ahead.
Freaking whipped cream. Everything else is just like whipped cream and cherries.
I love it. Like, I love that.
It's like, dude, when you build a house, you build a foundation. And then from there, you get dope furniture and custom window, you know, all the things, right? But it's like having that baseline, that strong foundation that you can work off of. That to me is what self-bodywork is. And like for my own practice, the awareness, like I was so full of tension. I had so much anxiety. I had so much stress. And where's that supposed to go? When it is living inside of you, I believe that it goes into the deepest, darkest crevices of your fascia. And if it is not released and you're not able to get that out through self-bodywork and in conjunction with breath work, I think that it could really wreak havoc on the body. I believe that. And I've seen it. And you know, it's felt just like and felt it. And it's like so much more than that. When somebody's in pain and they have tightness and tension, it destroys their personality changes, like serious personality shifts. Like it's wild. Like
all right.
I know we're kind of going off track here, but like it's okay. Like, look, I know that in the previous video, like I said, like I want to master the basics, and but I think that this is so healthy. Like, you know, Katelyn and I, like we are parents. We're together. We love each other so much. We've gone through so much life together, but we don't agree on every little thing. I think if she brings up astrology, I'm like, you know, like, and I'll go like this, but it's okay. I like that. I like this dynamic that we have, because although I really want us to master the basics,
I really want us, to understand just the basic anatomy. You know, where are your pectineuses? Where's your gracilis? Where's your lats? Where's your serratus anterior? If you could point to these things, where's masseter, occipitals, and really have a decent understanding of the human body, I think that you can work on yourself and get a lot better. But I do want to open that up for you, and I don't want you to feel like, oh, Marco's this way and you can't go into these other things like personalities and stuff like that. Because for sure, we've seen it. We've both experienced it.
Yeah. Well, I just know that when somebody's in pain and they're full of tension, that it has such a big impact on their personality and how they show up in the world. And it's just like nervous system tone is just like so up here. And when somebody is chronically stressed out I'm not talking like 6 months. I'm talking 30 plus years under chronic stress. And they don't know it, but I can see it. And it's in their personality. It's just like, man, like, wow, what does 30 years of being in a heightened state of sympathetic tone do to your fascia, to your body, to your posture, to your organs? Like I believe that it has some very detrimental effects on the body, and being able to come back and have a solid foundation to build off of, I believe everything else is just like the cherry on top.
I love it. And I think, we'll have a couple thoughts because it's 29 minutes and we got to go. We got to go take care of our kids. I got to go play horse with them. I'm kicking their butts. I love
when you play horse with them.
Right?
It's so fun.
Yeah.
Like, they really get into it.
I got her because I'm pretty good at basketball.
Dude,
and I just be balling people up.
I'm actually better at basketball. I played basketball.
Honey, come on.
Okay, I played basketball.
I ball out. I ball out, dude.
I played basketball in high school.
I know, but honey, we've done this
and
multiple times
school.
where I'll give you the ball.
Okay, you might think that you're better, but I am.
You are a better runner, honey.
I'm definitely I am more of the athletic one.
All right. Okay. That's debatable for sure. For sure. She's going to kick my butt in a half marathon, and Micah will kick my butt in a half marathon.
Our children will kick our butt in half marathons.
So, but let me finish this thing up. We're 29 minutes in, and I had to go get these auxiliary cords, or these cords to tie up the whole thing for the audio, to make the audio better today. And I was listening to Dr. Robert Sapolsky, a podcast that he did. And, it's a throwback for us.
Which one was that? Was the one with Joe Rogan?
Not the one with Joe Rogan. Okay. People don't know this one was 15 years ago with Joe Rogan. It was a different one that I was listening to. But when I got to the shop, when I got to the session, I was going to do the session with my client. It's like 2:00 in the afternoon, but he was late. And I picked up Why Zebras Don't Get Ulcers that we have on the shelf at the shop, and I'm rereading it, just the first couple of pages, and it just brought back so many memories. It brought back so many emotions, really, to how long we've been in this game. And I read Why Zebras Don't Get Ulcers 13, 14 years ago, a long time ago, man. It's crazy, way before Jax was born. And it just brought back a lot. And we're going to finish this thing up like this. Tension. Where does it come from?
How long has it been there? Do you know?
Secrets.
Oof.
Past trauma.
Oof.
Things you don't want to resolve. Things that are, where does it really come from? And
where does it live?
Where does it live? All these things.
And I believe it's fascia.
And it's like, fascia will hold you. Fascia's job, what I think is fascia's job, is to hold you in the positions you are in the most. So where does this feeling come from?
But on the other side of it, fascia will set you free.
Fascia will set you free. I love it. I love it.
Fascia will set you free. Free your fascia, free your life.
I love that. I love what we're doing. This is so cool to get here. After all these years to get to the starting line, after all these years to get to the start, that we've built so many amazing things and with our own 2 hands, you know, with the paint, with Home Depot has all of our money.
Literally.
And,
oh my
but
God.
that's
How
okay.
many times have we gone to
Home Depot has all of our money. Thank God for the military discount, you know, but thank you that, hey, this is it. I know this is random. We had a lot of things. We talked about a lot of different things today, but we're excited, and we're excited to hook it all up, and to have the Modern Body Bundle out in the world, for you guys to explore your fascia with the tools, with the understanding of it, and to really kind of like, we're excited. We're excited to get here. We're excited to plug all the microphones in and the cameras, and this is the very beginning. This is January 31st, 2026, and today we begin the content go. Today we begin the content flow. And we will not stop from here on out.
For your fascia, for your life.
This is Marco
and Katelyn with fascia.com, Fascia Health and Wellness, and we're out.
We're out.
Peace.